England, the gift that keeps on giving. Today we're going to be exploring why England will not be winning this World Cup and why they will disappoint the planet yet again. Yes, today is a video about the England national team ahead of the Qatar World Cup. I have done a Japan video, I've done an Ecuador video. There's going to be loads more videos coming out, so please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Today it is England. So Gareth Southgate did announce his 26-man squad he will take to the World Cup. So we're going to be reacting to that, and we're just going to go through overall team profile, what is going on with England, and at the end of this video I'm going to be telling you my predictions as to where I believe England will finish. And also I will be putting out my team of the week because I did forget to do that in the Japan video. So let's start off with the past World Cup performances of England. England did not qualify, did not participate in the first 3 World Cups in the 30s. They made their first World Cup in 1950 where they went out in the group stages. Then they did a quarter-final, which was their personal best at the time, before they bettered it in 1966 when they won the competition. They've not done that since, and they've also did not participate in 74, 78 and 94. So the best results, obviously the win in 1966, then third place game in 1990. They also finished 4th in 2018. So they're a team that has some history in the World Cup. Only 8 countries have ever won the World Cup. England is one of them. But let's look at their recent results since 2000. Quarterfinals in 2002, 2006 quarterfinals, 2010 round of 16, 2014 group stages, 2018 4th place. So those are England's most recent results, and we're going to be focusing mainly on the last 2. 2014 and 2018. 2014 was under Roy Hodgson in Brazil. England drew into a group with Uruguay, Italy and Costa Rica. So you may think that's a pretty tough group. If you look at it now, you know, Italy and Uruguay, some big teams. But back then, Uruguay were definitely not the strong powerhouse they are now, or like they were in 2010. No Diego Forlan, obviously. And Costa Rica were obviously, I think it was their first time ever at the World Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were obviously deemed to be an underdog and they ended up going to the quarterfinals. England finished bottom of the group, losing 2-1 to Italy, 2-1 to Uruguay and then drawing 0-0 to Costa Rica. Very disappointing tournament, and Hodgson stayed at Euro 2016 where they got embarrassed by Iceland. 2018, Gareth Southgate comes in, they draw into an easy group with Belgium, Panama and Tunisia. Beat Tunisia 2-1, beat Panama 6-1 and then lose to Belgium 1-0 to finish second in the group. Beat my beloved Colombia on penalties, beat Sweden 2-0 before they crash out to Croatia in extra time 2-1. So, interesting World Cup, last 2 World Cups. I mean, 2014 was a disaster, one of the worst teams at the entire World Cup. And 2018 was a lot better, although I would say they definitely should have beaten Croatia. And then obviously at the Euros in 2020, or 2021 technically, they obviously made the final and lost to Italy on penalties, and that was a failure. Okay, because they were at home. I mean, what more could you want? They had a way better team than Italy, and Italy managed to win. So those are England's best World Cup results. Now let's look at their qualification campaign, because obviously for the big teams, qualifying in Europe is actually not that difficult, right? It's not that difficult as, let's say, for South America. South America, lot tougher qualifying. So let's look at how England did. They drew into, I don't know if it's a difficult group. I'd say it's a pretty easy group. Poland, Albania, Hungary, Andorra and San Marino with a plus 36 goal difference and 26 points from a possible 30, I believe it was. Yeah, from a possible 30, 26. So I think the results were fairly good. And look at the top goal scorer of the entire qualification was Harry Kane, right? 14 goal contributions. Memphis Depay had the most goal contributions in the entirety of qualifying, but most goals was Harry Kane joint with Depay, right? In terms of the assist charts, the best English player was Phil Foden with 4. So pretty easy group. Harry Kane, obviously, I would say England's best player, their talisman, their main guy, the captain, and that is who they're going to look to play to at the World Cup, one of the best strikers in the world right now. So England, fairly easy qualifying. However, let's look recently at the Nations League because that will give us an indication of where England are. And obviously, if you watch football, you know England did really, really bad. 3 points in total, you know, which is very, very poor. And relegation. They lost to Italy twice. Well, no, they lost to Italy once. They drew to them. They drew twice to Germany, once to Italy, right? They only scored 3 non-penalty goals in 6 games. And they lost to Italy 1-0, 1-0 to Hungary, and 4-0 to Hungary, which was the big one. And I mean, if you look at their top goal scorer in the Nations League, it's really, really poor because their top goal scorer is Harry Kane with 2, and both of them were penalties. So England only scored 2 non-penalty goals in the entirety of the Nations League. So that is not what you want to be. That is not what you want to be doing. And this is what their most recent stuff are. So this is what people are looking at. They're like, look at this. In the Nations League, they're really struggling. However, we cannot take away from the fact that their team is one of the best in the world. And I would say that the problem here is Gareth Southgate. I do not back him as a manager, and we're going to get onto him in a minute. But if you look at the lineup, so first of all, the squad, this will be my reaction to the squad taken to the World Cup, because big omissions. Fikayo Tomori not being in this squad is a disgrace, okay? Fikayo Tomori, in my opinion, is one of maybe first or second England's best centre-back. There is no way he's not being taken to the World Cup. It's because he plays in Serie A that he won the league last year. And he's taken
Harry Maguire
over him. What has he got over Fikayo Tomori? A fatter head? Mate, come on. Like, Harry Maguire has not been... Mate, Harry Maguire has been tragic for a year and a half. Fikayo Tomori last season won the league in Serie A. He's got the recovery pace that Maguire does not offer. He's a lot safer on the ball. I don't understand how Maguire's on the plane to Qatar and Tomori's staying at home. It does not make sense. I'm happy he included James Maddison. I mean, I don't like England at all, but I'm happy he's going because he deserves it. James Ward-Prowse not being included though. That is big. Like, I think that was a big mistake because look at the people who've taken over him. Conor Gallagher. He's all right, I guess, but you might as well take Harvey Elliott. Like, he's just as good. And then Calvin Phillips, right? Calvin Phillips, I don't understand what he's doing in this team. The man has played 1 minute of Premier League football in 22-23, right? Last season, he only started 18 games. Like, I don't understand how he can be in this just because he did well at the Euros. He's played 1 minute of Premier League football. 1 minute. And Harry Maguire has only started 1 game in which Manchester United haven't conceded, I think, this entire season. That was the West Ham game. So how does that even work, man? So the England squad definitely could have been better, but I think that by including James Maddison, I think he's done a better job than we've seen him do in the past. Trent is in. I didn't expect that. So, yeah. Now, who will be the starting lineup? Because in my opinion, Jordan Pickford will be the goalkeeper. I would go Ramsdale personally, but Pickford will start. Right back, he will go Kieran Trippier. He'll go Harry Maguire, John Stones, and Eric Dyer, probably. And he'll go Luke Shaw left back. He'll go for a midfield, because I think he'll go 5 at the back. I think he'll go midfield of Rice and Bellingham. And I think he'll go a front 3 of Kane, Sterling, and Saka. I don't think he'll play Foden because Foden hasn't really done it for England. That's just the way he thinks. I think Foden would be in. I don't think Sterling would be in. I don't think Mount would be in mine either. I think Maddison definitely plays over Mount. So that is what I think Gareth Southgate will do. I think the main men here, Harry Kane, obviously, I think play to Bukayo Saka and Phil Foden's strengths, and you can get them to be amazing. Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham is the key duo, though, because those two next to each other would be unbelievable. And this is why England can do well at this tournament, because of these players. However, moving on to the manager, Gareth Southgate, 52 years old. He's been at the job since September 2016, and I really do not rate him as a manager. He is tactically out of his depth. He has no idea what he's doing. And even though he got to a semi-final of the World Cup and the final of the Euros, those are disappointing results, particularly the Euros, because he definitely should have won that, right? Just, I mean, tactically so like, he doesn't know what he's doing tactically. It's just tell the players to do something, and they just, because they're good, they'll just do something, pull a bit of magic. But also the draws that they got. Very easy games to get to the semi-final and the final. As soon as they play someone good, they will go out. And this is the main problem with England here, right? Because Gareth Southgate does not know how to manage in-game, and he will continue playing his favourites like Harry Maguire, who do not deserve it. He'll continue playing them, and that will be his downfall. So, here is my prediction as to where I think England can possibly finish. The group is England, USA, Wales, and Iran. I think England will win that group. I think they must. It's a very, very easy group, and there's no excuses for not winning it. That means I think they will play a round of 16 game, possibly to Ecuador, and I think they will win. But I think quarterfinals, I think they'll face Denmark maybe, and I think they will go out. So I think quarterfinals for England, which would be a disappointment, wouldn't it? Like, England should be looking for the semis at least here, and quarterfinals, I think Southgate will go after this World Cup. That's just my prediction. Anyway, now I need to share with you my team of the week, which will be on the screen for you guys. In goal, Alisson Becker, right? Right back, Ben White. Centre back, Gabriel Magalhaes from Arsenal as well. Then the other centre back for the jokes, Eric Dyer from Tottenham for gifting Mohamed Salah a goal. Left back, Aston Villa's Luca Digne. I love saying it like that, Digne. Bruno Guimaraes and Michael Olise 100% have got to be in the midfield. I think that they had fantastic weeks. Michael Olise obviously securing the win against West Ham. James Maddison's in, and then front three of Nunez, Salah, and Marcus Tavernier. I'll see you guys soon.